Yeah, the bat has such a good game though. There's actually nothing on the enemy team right now from Pango that I can see that it's gonna stop this bat rider from being able to get like free blinks into fights and lassoing people out of position. There's no save. I mean, Tusk Snowball is one thing, but it's definitely not reliable. You can't even shard a bat rider because he'll just fly over them with the Firefly. So now I'm feeling like OG have a lot of time to adapt to the Terrorblade. They got 2 picks left. Their bat riders completely uncountered, and they have 2 cores that they can choose from, right? So they have to pick the hero for LTW and Thompson, which I feel is like the ideal drafting scenario that in all the games that I've seen OG play so far, they get themselves in the same spot. They get their 4th and 5th pick where they pick something that they feel plays well into the enemy core, which in this case for them is going to be PL. Not the best matchup against TB, but it's still all right. And it crushes the other 3. So now you just pick your hero for Thompson that wins mid.
It's kind of more of a counter to TB. It will maybe not counter, but it does matches up a lot better now because of the Sunder mana cost. It just allows you to burn through his mana pool and prevent that coming out.
That benefit, and OD is still on the board as a possibility too if it doesn't get banned here. So you'd think that maybe NoPango, that's probably one of the heroes that they're potentially going to ban before. I suppose they do have the overall last pick though, so they have that going for them.
Yeah, it could be, you know, a Husker or something. I think they may want something to kind of hit buildings or take Roche. Right now, they got this Beastmaster, but they have nothing really to take Roche with it. PL needs quite a few items and to come online before he even considers Roshing. So I wouldn't mind seeing them get another physical damage hero. You know, what's Thompson going to build Solar Crest on this game? That's kind of the question I'm asking.
Razor.
It could be. Razor doesn't sound all too bad.
I mean, they just banned the lane counter to Razor. Pugna is probably the best hero against Razor, I think, especially once he hits 6. Because normally what he wants to do is he wants to run in, drain your damage, kill you. You can just decrep him and life drain and stuff, and he doesn't really have a way to stop it.
The one thing they don't have is like the burst damage to kill someone during the lasso that well. Like if you lasso this TB, you may want some magic burst to actually counter him.
Getting Sky, maybe?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. You've got Roar and Lasso for the Skywrath.
The one thing that's scary, though, is Nature's Prophet and Tusk. I'm going, wow, that's a rough mid lane for a Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
I don't actually... Sky. I could see the Sky being very volatile and hit or miss because I'd rather see like a Invoker type hero, even though I don't actually know if Invoker's good right now.
Like a Puck maybe comes... Another hero that can kind of benefit from the aura of Beastmaster you're mentioning too.
Yeah, it's not actually that bad of an Invoker game because there's not really that many heroes that get in your face. Like you don't care about Nature's Prophet TP on you as much as some other heroes do, because you can like Deafening you or Ice Wall or whatever Tornado if you want to play the Boss Wax build.
Do it. Okay.
Ooh, it's Arc Warden. Okay,
there you go.
I like that.
Yeah. You don't know your lane matchup, which is maybe a little bit rough. Arc Warden's not like the strongest mid laner, but whatever you pick, you're likely going to have some counter pick coming your way for the lane.
So another good answer to the Terrorblade, but the thing that screams to me with OG with the final pick Arc Warden is obviously very greedy now with that and the Phantom Lancer. Going to try to suck up a lot of farm, multiple places.
They have a lot of vision, though. Like, between the Bat Rider and the Beast, like, they're going to be able to see a lot of stuff that's happening on the map. And really, when you have these heroes, that's kind of what you want. If you're greedy, you have to have vision, or you have to have, like, tremendous amounts of wave clear to be able to push fast enough to where NoPango can't play the fast game that they want to play. So Bat Rider can do like the Firefly thing and waves. You have Beastmaster, who's obviously going to be a pretty strong support, really good in lane, and then Rubik can clear waves too. So I think it'll be okay. I
also imagine we'll see a more team-oriented Arc Warden with the way he plays and maybe even the item build. This is not going to be like what you saw from like RTZ when he was playing on EG, where it's like a 4 protect 1 strat. This is going to be same as the last couple games we've seen him. He's going to be looking to create space for ILTW to just free farm. He may still go for the Necro Book and farm a lot, but he's going to be pressuring towers with his team.
They did it.
This is a great pick into Phantom Lancer. One of the best heroes actually right now against Phantom Lancer. You can disarm him, which means you can't spawn juxtaposed illusions. You can silence him. Plus, if you get even like just a Maelstrom, you clear his illusions for a majority of the game. So obviously, I'm not sure if he's going to go the Maelstrom build directly, but you can also do things like build Crimson Greaves. He's kind of the jack of all trades hero, similar to Prophet, where you can itemize however the game needs. But I'm guessing, since it was an overall last pick, that it's going to be a hero that's focused more on like initiation and damage than necessarily like the team fight stuff. But it's not a bad pick.
does put the Nature's Prophet into a... No, he's going to be playing mid.
Yeah,
Okay.
mid, yeah.
Oh, all right.
We played it earlier today, mid.
Yeah.
Well.
No, yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, lane-wise, I think he should win that lane CS-wise against Thompson, at least early on. The Treants can help tank a lot of those Spark Wraiths and just give you a big last hit advantage. So, yeah, NoPango's draft looks pretty solid here.
They got to change their name, man. This is like the 5th or 6th time they've done this now. It's just not working.
It's disappointing. They also need to fix their team tags. You know, they've only got 2 people tagged up as NoPango. They've got 2 Odium players, a Vega player. What is this?
OG,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna talk about like the draft and like my prediction for who's gonna win. So my biggest concern for NoPango is that they do lack lockdown. Like in the early game, you're gonna have Zayak on a Tusk. That hero is obviously gonna have great impact, really strong early game hero. Gostic, you have some control with the Panda ultimate, or Pango ultimate, and then it's like after that you got nothing, right? So how do you control the Arc Ward and then the PL during like the mid late game? That's gonna be the real test I feel for NoPango this game, is like how quickly can they play? Can they use the Furion to take towers fast enough? And if they can't, I think that it'll be very similar to game 1, where at some point OG will just be strong enough to run them over.
All right, sounds like you're agreeing with the odds that were just on the screen right there, which again, if you do at home as well, like to play some bets, you can go to es.bet yourself and take advantage of said odds. Take advantage of the insurance also happening here for the WePlay Winter Madness Tournament at es.bet. All right, into our game 2, though. We got with OG up 1-0 again. So as Draskyl suggesting there, it seems like OG, the way they're playing, they got some comfortable picks. And is that last pick Pango enough, despite it being very good against Phantom Lancer? Will it do it?
Yeah, it's can be a little bit greedier if we're talking about dealing with the PL, getting a Maelstrom. That's, you know, not your typical Pango build. You normally want to go for the Crimson Guards, the Greaves, these tanky items. So we'll have to see which direction NoPango look to play for with it, and if they can actually have a good laning stage, because this is not the strongest laning hero. He may just give PL like a free farm lane if he's not careful.
Right now, PL. Was PL going mid?
He is, yeah. And I think Arc Warden just doesn't like that matchup mid. You're going to lose pretty badly to Nature's Prophet. PL actually does better against Nature's Prophet because of the base damage than Arc Warden does.
And LTW, again, is obviously playing the Phantom Lancer. But he is going to end up in the mid lane. Thompson on Arc Warden. Very comfortable hero for him.
Yep.
Zayak.
Nice thing for PL is you just get a Stout Shield and you just block all this damage.
So matched up against the Nature's Prophet there, as you're talking about. Bottom rune, Seb will pick up this one. You had a Slayer nearby, but realizing was going to be all for naught. So he's now just going to be back there and making his way over to the lane as the creeps do spawn. But it looks like Terrorblade is down there as well. So everything else, some pretty standard stuff. What we expected at least. No early tri-lane though from either side. We've seen plenty of that this event.
The Beastmaster doesn't really want to be in a tri-lane. He's more this kind of dual off-lane hero. And for NoPango, I don't think you want to tri-lane the Pango. You could tri-lane the TB if you could dominate bottom lane, but at the same time, that's going to be giving free farm to OG's carry.
Now, if he pops that Metamorphosis, level 1, and we're going to start playing some good damage to the Bat Rider. It's the top lane. Thompson, he's good. Taking some good return pressure himself, but Jerix is there and threatening. You see the Spark Race are down, and they're going to do their best to avoid that Spark Race.
Yeah. I think he was hoping to get a range creep, and Jerix stole it from him, but not the end of the world.
Back to Terrorblade again. A sticky napalm start adding up, and this is that Bat Rider. If he's able to get on top, I mean, you just see that turn rate, man. He's just so slow on the Terrorblade. Trying to even kill one of the boars, but great micro coming out from No-Tail. We know he has that skill. And there's the Metaform wearing off. So not your typical Metaform that you like in terms of just getting free last hits if you're Terrorblade, but welcome to Bat Rider in the lane.
Yeah, he did some good harass, but that's what Tangos and Salves are for. So not securing your early last hits with your first Metamorph, getting 3 CS only is a bit disappointing.
Hawk going out, so No-Tail, again, his job is just simply zone them the best he can, and without the Metamorphosis now, there's no way Terrorblade's getting last hits freely. He's just going to have to hug his tower. He has a lane pushing in, but Bat Rider is a hero that could dive you, of course, with that Firefly, so we're watching Kato, but I was going to say, I wish we were going to the back lane, and here we go. Seb is not going to Firefly in, though. He's just kind of threatening it.
They're baiting, though. Tusk TP, but baiting for what? I don't think they can easily get kills without Metamorph coming back up.
Well, they're going to go for no-tail, but he's fine. Just tag team is not enough pressure. You see Slayer also taking some good damage right there. But, yeah, it's 3 versus 2, but I kind of like the 2-man lane better right now.
Yeah, Seb was very tempted, I think, to go for Firefly there, but it's smart that he doesn't, because that's how you can throw away this lane advantage you have, is if you go for a kill and you don't quite get it, you feed away your life, suddenly this lane gets really bad for them. So I like that he just kind of stays back, plays passive, knowing that they're in a 2v3.
Whew, that Nature's Prophet, 10 and 11. He has more denies than last hits right now.
Yeah, this hero is incredibly strong in the mid lane, and yeah, the PL's I'd say still faring better than what Arc Warden would have done, but it's still a losing matchup.
Got Phantom Lancer though, 7-1, so yeah, not too bad for him, but not surprising. Nature's Prophet win this quite decisively.
It's how do you last hit against Nature's Prophet with 3 to 4 treants? That if you attack all at the same time, that's like 150 damage. You can't compete with that as with 77 damage as a PL.
It's the first time too we're going to really see OG today in terms of, well, hold on, I thought because no-tail going to get snowballed in on, but he's fine. Seb was there to return pressure. In fact, Seb might get a solo kill himself now on his Zayak. Burning away, 3 stacks, make it 4 stacks of sticky napalm. The boar is helping as well, so Zayak is like freaking glue, man, molasses. He just cannot move, and they eventually run him down, but back to the point, IOTW, we've seen him get essentially free farm on whatever core he's playing throughout today so far. It's going to be a different story here on this PL in that mid matchup, at least early on, so we'll see how he is at recovering. But back to Seb. Well, okay, they at least kill him there. Good rotation, not really just coming back from Zayak. Gets the last laugh.
It's a pretty common thing where you get a kill in these off lanes and the hero you just killed, which is a support, instantly TPs back in with their spells up and full health, full mana. They just go on you and you die, but doesn't really hurt Seb too much because he's going to come back to lane now himself with full health, full mana, and all his spells online. So all in all, off lane going pretty evenly. I mean, most of the lane's pretty even right now. A small win for OG top, much like there's a small win for NoPango mid. PL, despite all these denies, has still got 16 CS, so his farm is doing all right here.
Seb, blinding lane push back, having a Firefly for defensive purposes. Is going to get him away in the end, but clearly it seems like NoPango's kind of found their stride down here at the bottom lane. They're not letting that Batrider Beastmaster bully them as much. I guess the added up levels help, and the Metamorphosis threat once again, of course, part of that.
A lot of these Nature's Prophet denies are going to be the treants as well, so they're not quite as impactful as the regular denies.
That's a good point, yeah.
He's not actually getting gold and all that for them.
Oh, look at this battle at the bounty rune, 5-minute bounty rune. We get plenty of it, and no change here. No-tail wants to kill Slayer, but Slayer did a good job popping the salve. He's back in now. Seb, Snowball's going to be queued up on him. Brings everyone for the ride. He pops Firefly, and Jerix is coming in as well. Oh, this could be a big turn. They get the 1, they get the 2, and now Terror Play's also going to go down. Oh, man. Manning up there by NoPango. Oh, that hurt.
The timing there. Firefly just came back up at the perfect time it was needed, and then Jerix's timing on his TP. Oh, boy, was that big. He manages to get there with a perfect turnaround, and OG come out big with that fight.
Yeah. Great turn for OG in the end. So now Nature's Prophet needing to have that much more impact with this start, and haven't seen him teleport just yet, but with the CS he's looking at, I'm sure we're going to see that maybe come into play soon, especially at this bottom lane, can most certainly use that help. After him, the CS looking very good across the board for OG. Even Batrider's not doing too shabby, but yeah, you look at Arc Warden. He's continuing to have a very good time at the top lane, and speaking of him, we're going to go on in with the tag team at Nature's Prophet. There's that TP that we're talking about, so good job by Salar. He does make a play.
And that level 6 ultimate, if you can get that Wrath of Nature to bounce around it before it hits the hero you're going on, does so much damage early on. So good use of the first Wrath of Nature as NoPango look to try maybe turn this into some tower pressure. Not even sure if Arc Warden can really go back to that top lane, especially not alone. So this kind of takes away Arc Warden's ability to farm right now.
Jerix is like, yep, Illuminate key from here, guys. Runs on in, no-tail, now trying to chase him as well. The boar slow. Can't really get most out of it. Jerix might be overstepping for this. It looks like that's exactly what's going on. Shard block guarantees the kill, so they dive for the call with TP support. It does backfire a little bit there. Top lane, Topson continues his farm, and we really haven't seen him too much yet, but I assume we're going to see the early Necronomicon first on Topson's Arc Warden. That kind of seems like his build.
think so, yeah. The Necro 1 into Midas build seems very popular, just being able to farm so fast with the double Necro book.
And then from there, options are open.
Yeah, I don't think you need to go too heavily in like the right-click carry direction with PL on your team. I think
Solar
Hex
Crest
at some point. Solar Crest, yeah, absolutely. Probably see a Scythe at some point as like a way of dealing with the TB and stopping Sunder coming out. But we'll see exactly what he has in mind.
Yeah. Honestly, again, it's every hero he's played today, he's bought that item, so we'll see if it eventually comes out. But okay, actually, he's not going the Necro. He's going to go right for the Hand of Midas instead.
All right.
This time around.
He's feeling like this is the new way to play this hero now.
He has safe lane too. Usually he is in the mid lane, so I wonder if that has something to do with it. And or the fact that he is partnered with the Phantom Lancer, going back to that logic too. But either way, it's going to be a push mid tower. Swashbuckle used from Pango, doing what he can. Bottom lane though, Wrath of Nature bouncing around. Caudle gets low. He's going to die coming out of the snowball, but they get the turn kill on Rubik with the TP in from Nature's Prophet. The lasso from Seb keeps him alive though, just long enough to TP away. So very close call. Buddy gets out. Dear God, that shield crush in the middle lane. Almost ended up killing LTW. He makes it away though.
He couldn't quite get the second stun from the Rolling Thunder. I think he just rolled on top of him almost too soon after the first one. He was very close to the cliff there, and it just didn't have enough time to, like, between the hits to reset it yet. Very close to getting a kill.
Nature's Prophet just going to stay down here for now, and oh, never mind, he TP's back to base. Tran still maybe putting a little bit of pressure at that bottom lane, but yeah, LTW, he's going to eventually shrine up after trying some Ancients now. And as I mentioned before, this is kind of the first time today, at least, we're seeing him having to play more of a recovery game from the laning phase. And well, he's second to Net Worth, so I guess it wasn't much that was needed.
Part of the difference maybe is also this time around it's less like 4 Protect 1, which is what they had those last 2 or 3 games. This time around, they've got 2 scaling cores. Both Arc Warden and PL will go well into the late game. You can see both of them getting good farm. And this is just kind of, I think, Nature's Prophet things. You're expected to dominate the laning stage, be #1 net worth, because nobody can really contest Nature's Prophet's laning stage.
Yeah, very successful hero on multiple teams today. And if I recall, I think he's 4-1 today. I was double checking the record. So, yeah, very, very much success there. And you see easy kill on a Rubik at the top lane, not really much missed as far as the combo. And yet again, Nature's Prophet using that teleportation to move in. But Arc Warden has the Hand of Midas being delivered. So expect to start seeing him starting to jump up that net worth chart immediately after he gets it. Terrorblade, double Wraithband power treads. Naive going to find himself in the jungle now. Start working in there. Increase his farm. There's a Vlad's pickup on Nature's Prophet, by the way.
Yep, it's the build we're seeing a bit out of these Nature's Prophets, even from the mid lane. It's kind of, it's nice getting it this early. It can maybe give you some Roche potential, but at the same time, it feels a bit peculiar to have like a Vlad's Rush on your most farmed hero, since it's not like a single target damage item.
LCW, good job with the Doppelganger initially, but again, that Wrath of Nature connects. You just see in those ice shards too, Ghostic going back and forth. The Rolling Thunder.
That Will-O-Wisp AoE pulling him back in, helping out, and he almost got away with the Doppelganger.
That was 4 heroes rotating, so again, kind of a space created for OG2, but big kill on Mr. Phantom Lance here. Jerix with the Swashbuckle Steel going to push them out.
They use 3 ultimates too, so I think they feel like they can defend this tower and, if anything, force a fight. Seb's really charging forward.
Doesn't have a blink or anything like that, but he went bots first once again. He did this last time with Batrider earlier today. He's going to run out of Slayer. Gets cut off with the Walrus Punch, though, in the turn.
Seb?
Yeah.
That was a bit too aggressive. I think he felt like NoPango were in full retreat, and he was just picking off a lone Coddle, and NoPango saying, no, we're gonna back up our buddy.
Tops in. The timing of that TP was perfect. If he TPs a half a second later, he probably is dead, so he doesn't get the kill on Nature's Prophet himself, but at least he gets out to safety.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well timed there. It's Notel level 6, so has Primal Roar. You're playing this main support Beastmaster though, so don't expect much item progress on him in this game.
I think he feels pretty happy being able to have an impact just with your levels at this point. Perhaps eventually like a Vlad's type item could come out on him, but there's not really any rush for him to get any item progression.
So Pango is going to go the Vanguard. Crimson Guard does feel pretty good this game, but we're wondering if are we going to maybe see more of the damage build, even just a casual Javelin on Pango. I guess we got our answer here, at least right now.
Yeah. You could go back for the Maelstrom after a few standard core items like the Vanguard. Maybe you get Crimson, Blink, possibly even like an Arcane Boots, and then you go Maelstrom as like a mid-game item. But rushing a Maelstrom, you don't need to address the PL now. PL becomes a problem around 20-25 minutes, so you're better off getting your Maelstrom later.
Zach, he's rolling in. Shard is, he was going for Beastmaster. A little too far away now. You just see again, when they go in like that, that Wrath of Nature bouncing around eventually connects and how much burst damage it applies. So if he does connect, that's for sure an easy kill to him there, but unable to do so. And Seb will just clean up what he can in the middle lane. Meanwhile, they're pinging him out. Zach wants to go. Look at the Walrus Punch. Promeron in response. There's the Will-O-Wisp. LTW running into this. Rubik is here now as well, but the TP from Sailor on top of that Will-O-Wisp. They want Seb dead. The Sprout up on top of that Zach. He's going to end up falling for this. Seb, he's still alive. Flame Break finally goes down, but at what cost now for Sailor? As he's being run down by LTW and the Illusions. Himself, though, he's not going to go in. Spirit Lance just thrown out. Sailor is picked off. Buyback from Tusk. Late in the fight. Is not able to get there in time, though.
Good job making sure they kill that Will-O-Wisp as fast as possible. The PL just focuses it down. It did get off a second pull right at the end there, but it still made that fight go a whole lot better for OG.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yasha finished on Terror Blade, going to go right into the Manta style. No Dragon Lance this game early on, as I guess that was LTW earlier. Maelstrom just finished on Arc Warden, meanwhile. As we see Treants just die. That was fun. Pango. He's, well, he's rolling somewhere. Jarek's kind of stalling Tusk a little bit. That's a fake, guys. They thought that was a real illusion or a real hero the whole time. It clearly wasn't, at least for us. Obviously not for them. So good juke from LTW. Jarek's going to stay alive. He has a Shield Crush stolen, so he's mitigating some damage. He'll get away. Zyke now. He's in trouble. So the bait works out in the long run. Well played again by LTW there on Phantom Lancer. Not sure how that started.
He's juking them like crazy here. GoDz will find a regen room, which is kind of nice. Saving grace for him, but OG, their farm is starting to really pick up. Orc Warden now overtaking Nature's Prophet. And we're kind of at that stage where Nature's Prophet was going to fall off a bit in farm, but it's kind of concerning that NoPango haven't taken more objectives. They haven't made any moves towards Roshan. We'll see if anything comes of this 15-minute bounty rune. Look like for once we're not going to have any fights over these bounty runes. No. Perhaps Seb gets caught at bottom, though. It doesn't look like it.
No, maybe. His life is dropping.
He's getting kind of low. Doesn't have mana.
He's trying to get away.
Looks like he's dead.
Yes.
He did not get the bounty rune either. They may lose Rubik as well. Rubik's getting TP'd on.
There we go. See that? The swashbuckle. He likes that Pango. He's stole the Shield Crush, swashbuckle. It's going to be a target for him to choose to spell steal from. What was I going to mention, though? Back to... Well, Arc Warden is on top. I was going to bring up something. Okay, he's going bots here. What? He has power trap. Okay, interesting.
Bots are just so good for these farming heroes when you can have the separate cooldowns.
Zayak gets caught there as Ghostic. He rolls in with the Rolling Thunder, though. The Arc Warden ultimate, the Tempest double gets hit by initially. The real one's being dealt with as far as stuns go in the back lines, but he's fine. They lose the Beastmaster. He's still running away. Meanwhile, LTW causing chaos with all those illusions up here. Look at Jerax. He's still that Rolling Thunder. He's using it against him. Knife gets the Center Romp with the Doppelganger forward. LTW still is fine. He's got the Diffusal Blade. Plenty of damage. He's getting somewhat low himself, though. Knife holding his ground with the Metamorphosis form. It ain't going to be enough, though. He goes down. Ghostic also going to fall most likely. Cannot do enough damage in return. LTW just manning up right there on Phantom Lancer, getting low, but had faith in his teammates, too. And it would work out.
He did a great job just focusing the right heroes there, and I feel like NoPango, Ghostic on that Pango didn't really focus right here. He just sent his Rolling Thunder at the real Arc Warden, but there wasn't any follow-up. He wasn't posing any kill threat. In fact, when the Rolling Thunder wore off, Thompson forces him to TP out, so I feel like his ultimate was a little bit wasted, whereas OG were just destroying the team fight while this Pango was nowhere to be seen.
That's what I was going to bring up. The Diffusal Blade finished on Phantom Lancer, and again, as we saw it in that fight, doing plenty of work and plenty of damage there. So have that going for them. OG more heavily favored now in the series overall, even. If you like those odds, head over to es.bet. Place bet onset odds. es.bet right there. Sailor is still trying to finish that Orchid. It is almost done at least. But again, his farm has died off a little bit, especially in comparison to the Arc Warden, which is not really a surprise. Looks like Rubik in the middle lane. Well, at least he is caught and poured in from Nature's Prophet. Helps secure the kill. Got credit for it even. Roshan's, of course, been up this whole time. It's still 17.5 minutes in. It's still fairly early, but something that if you're OG, the way you're controlling this map, maybe something that they can look to do in the near future.
Yeah, it went from being something that NoPango would consider to now OG. Their lineup's not bad at it. I don't think they want to just go grouping up in the pit. You're against Pangolier. You know, Rolling Thunder in the pit's one of the scariest things imaginable, so it'll be more of an afterthought to winning a team fight at this point.
Okay. No rush here for it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. Their lineup is scaling better right now. They've got 2 really good scaling cores. Nature's Prophet is the most farmed Radiant core, and with the Vlad's is going to fall off. Does have this Orchid, but isn't really a scary late game hero. Once there's a Manta style in PL, Arc Warden may even itemize like a early BKB or Manta style to get rid of the Orchid as well if he feels like he needs to.
Blink purchased by Batrider. Remember, Seb went those bots earlier on for the mobility, but now he's got the Blink Dagger on top of that, so gap closer, sets up great lassos. That's the idea. I believe we saw Mjolnir in the works for Arc Warden. Again, he has the bots, so one boot for each foot, I guess. Power charge on top of that. Ghost is going to be lifted up after swashbuckle. Into the backlines. Prime Aurora on his Zac on top of the lasso, so kind of overkill right there. Will-O-Wisp put down as well. Thompson caught it, then puts this bubble down, though, at the last second. Gonna save from some damage, and it looks like he will stay alive. Helpful with that as well. Zac, he goes down, though. No-Tell now running the other direction. So it was very close to taking out the Arc Warden, but they couldn't finish the job. And now LTW going further. Ghostic, though, gets his nice Rolling Thunder off, blocking the Sylar. He's going to go for the TP out. Not enough, though. He gets caught despite the Sprout. Protecting him. Thompson is back in. Once again, back to about half life, though, so they can definitely do some good damage onto him. Now he's running forward. He still has his Sunder if he needs it. Right now, he's looking good on his life for the time being. Ghostic not looking so good on his life, having to swashbuckle backwards. They kill Batrider for this. So Naeem doing a good job of keeping his distance and really at the right space. Doing good damage. And wow, Ghostic really going in. He wanted that kill. He is going to die for this, but I suppose he killed Rubik right there. And well, they're going to snowball in now. So they do kill Thompson in the end. Now, even though he's going to fall, he got his Sunder off. It just didn't matter. Wasn't much life to work with right there anyways. Zac is now going to go down too. So that was overextension at its finest right there. That was not worth the initial Rubik kill.
Oh, no, yeah, you just fed PL so much for that. And yeah, I think a few of the supports just kind of got overzealous going for these kills. Or Ghostic, the core Pango, he dies to kill a Rubik. Then the Tusk snowballs in, knowing that he can kill this Arc Warden. He brings his TB in, but you're killing one core, losing your only real carry, and then the other OG carry, well, not really the secondary one, the main one, the PL, is cleaning up the fight. So feeding ILTW these kills is really, really bad news for NoPango.
And now Slayer. I think he's getting a well. Nature's Prophet is TPing in, but they're going to lose Coddle, and they're like, okay, sure, we'll go for an NP kill too. That works. From Aurora immediately. Here comes Ghostic, though.
Here comes Bat with the Boots of Travel.
Batrider running in, ILTW, everybody joining the party. They're going to take out Nature's Prophet. They lost No-Tail on his Beastmaster, but of course very worth it again for OG. And that mobility coming into play.
These Boots of Travel are just so efficient. That last team fight, the Arc Warden at the start survived on like 50 health. He TP's home and then Boots of Travel back into the fight. So he's out of the fight for maybe 10 seconds, but it was such a long drawn out fight. He's able to return on full health. Does end up dying, but he's able to get out so much more damage and so many more spells as a result of that TP cooldown.
Bottom tier 2. We're likely going to fall right here, and yet you take a glance at that left net worth chart and notice both cores, at least an Arc Warden, as well as Phantom Lancer, topping it right now. Batrider doing plenty as well. He's got the bots and the blink, and that already feels good. It's in fact going to go to the top lane and push it out as they kill the tier 2 bottom. Pango is up here. As Thompson sends his Tempest double back to the bottom lane, so the real one's going to stay up here. Pango did get the casual javelin. He is going to go back to the Maelstrom, so you're right on that, realizing that they do need some more damage. I
think I would still like to see a Blink Dagger. I thought he might get that before this Maelstrom, but We'll see if he goes back for it afterwards. He's been getting off great ultimates. Like that last team fight, his Rolling Thunder was on point, even if the one at the top lane was a bit too focused on one hero.
Jerax, oh, he's fine. He's going to steal the snowball. Will they use it
Careful
against him
with
now?
snowballs, yeah.
LTW, they don't even need it. Just that diffusal blade alone. So much damage. Again, the Mantis now on top of it. He's building a heart next, it looks like.
In these fights, the Will-O-Wisp just dies so easily. The clone hits count as hits on it. They've got Beastmaster attack speed aura. They've got the Arc Warden bubble. They just have all these heroes that destroy the Will-O-Wisp.
Buyback from Tusk. They do not want to give this up. Bat Rider, though, it looks like he lassos up Pango as they do kill Roshan. Aegis picked up by ILTW. Pango, he is dead. So that buyback from Tusk is not going to result in the most. In fact, it's going to be worse now for NoPango as they try to fight this. Zach's going to go for a dieback here as well. It just keeps getting worse and worse for NoPango. OG, 11,000 net worth lead. They have the Aegis. It's hard to see them turning back from here.
Yeah, it's looking pretty damn good. NoPango's hopes rest in the Terrorblade, who is just not going to be able to match up particularly amazingly well against a late-game Arc Warden.
Speaking of that, he's building a BKB next. So the Mjolnir finished. More survivability.
That's the issue is both carries causing problems. You've got the mana burn from the PL Diffusal that can stop your Sunder coming out, and then you've got the Arc Warden as well with his bubble that stops you from getting attacks off.
What the hell's going on here? Multiple restarts coming out from the team. Okay.
Might be boot camping or something, playing at the same location and all needing a restart for whatever reason.
On that note, they're going to be competing in the minor coming up, right?
That's in like 3 or 4 days, I want to say.
Yeah.
It's pretty soon. Yeah.
The Bucharest minor, let me double check on that. They are playing, they're one of the 8 teams, obviously qualifying out of the European region with NIP. So they got that to look forward to. As next week, I believe. It starts on the 9th, so yes.
Yeah, I assume the announcement with ILTW means he'll be playing that tournament, even if he's still on like a trial basis.
Yeah, again, it's to clarify that tweet earlier, it did say stand in. Like, I'm with you there. I think, yeah, he's probably going to, that means he's going to play at the LAN event, as well as, I see it more as a tryout. I'm sure that's what they're kind of going through here, seeing if it kind of works, and obviously that's going to be a big event to tell that.
Who knows how the points... I mean, for Valve's sake with the DPC, I'm sure they just consider him an official player at that point, since, you know, there's points involved.
Oh, yeah. If he plays in the actual DPC event, absolutely it has to.
Yeah, and then if they don't end up sticking with him and go with another player, I guess they're going to... Well, you lose like 20% of your points, or however many it was. You lose a chunk of them, so... Obviously, for OG's not a team of... Yeah, for the minor, so... It's not a huge amount of points.
That's what I was going to say. For the minor, you're not nearly as concerned about that.
More if you go to the major, get some points there, and then later, further down the road, you decide you have a different player in mind. But
yeah, let's go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, if you can upgrade your roster, I don't think you're too worried about qualifying for TI at that point.
I was going to say, let's be honest, OG, they're going to play in the open qualifiers, and that's what they want anyways. Right?
Yeah. They want the hard road to TI.
To do that this last year, and it worked out just fine for them, I think it's safe to say. BKB purchased by Arc Warden, meanwhile. Once again, they're up 1-0 in this series, trying to close it out, trying to move on to the finals here of the WePlay Winter Madness tournament. NoPango attempting to say something about it. GoDz pushing top lane. They're going to have to deal more and more with these illusions, though, not only of course, Arc Warden and the Tempest Double, but Phantom Lancer. Their clearing of said illusions is a massive issue, clearly, right now. I mean, obviously, Illuminate's okay, but outside of that, do not have the most to deal with it. And PL is just going to go pretty deep here. He's kind of zone them out with the illusions. Get the fortification out of this Tier 3 tower push. Who's not here? That's Nature's Prophet up top lane. Still going for now, but so they're pretty content on just giving this up, it looks like. At least a Tier 3 tower. As that's going to be Rolling Thunder in. The Promaror in response. Will-O-Wisp is put down. They're not killing it just yet. Seven's going to be picked off top, so he's sitting inside that bubble, though. Naive is dropping. Can he get a Thunder off? It doesn't look like it. He is absolutely not able to. He used his meta as well, so he has a buyback, but without meta, he is not nearly as big of a threat. Kata will buy back. That should be at least the racks, though, as Terrorblade does finally. Now, top lane, Nature's Prophet has been pushing it this whole time. He is still up there doing the work, so keeping an eye on that. Is Knife dead again? Oh no. Okay, he's gonna live.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Rax is being claimed, and they'll send the Beastmaster back to defend, so... Yeah, top lane is a tier 3, but a tier 3 for a Rax, you're more than happy with that if you're a G.
Are they just going to go mid? Oh, LTW wants to. The rest of the team not really sure. In fact, he comes back now on Phantom Lancer. Jarex was the one that was caught. Heals on up at the last second. Barely keeps him alive for now. Illuminate out of range, and he will survive. Seb's also up as well. And we see the boss, sure enough. He is coming back in. Zach, he may go down for this, it looks like. Yep, he's dead. Staying dead for 35. Nature's Prophet was killed as well. He buys back shortly after. So LTW again wants to keep this going. He goes right back to the mid. He still has an Aegis. He has a heart. He's feeling cozy.
Yeah, gets disarmed, which is kind of annoying by the Pango, but he's still doing just fine.
That new lucky shot. Silence the disarm, especially in combo. Really annoying indeed, but again, the tier 3 slowly but surely dying. Ghostic, if something's annoying, just kill it. That's their game plan there. Take out Pango.
The little bug, and he's looking for more. The Sailor Nature's Prophet can't afford to die as well. Does TP out, but a second laner Rax may just be game over here.
I think it is the beginning of the end for sure. OG looking very confident in going 2-0 and moving on to the finals, similar to the series before. It's your NoPango here. You're not going to give in just yet. Obviously, this is it for you, so might as well play it out. BKB committed here by Terrorblade, and he literally uses a BKB just to run around as the Terrorblade illusions are chasing him. So not your ideal use. When you're down by this much, it's just going to happen. And now they TP out. So OG gets plenty. You have Sailor is actually going to get one of the bounty runes, but now he runs into Batrider. Nice Orchid, but he gets caught by Jerax.
Stolen teleportation.
Is that what he? Oh, that's how he got there. Okay.
Yeah, I think he just teleported in, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Followed him with his teleport. That's fun.
20k gold lead. There's a DD up top if they scout it out, but they don't really care about any DD runes at this point. They're probably just looking to gun down this top lane.
That's exactly where Phantom Lancer is, and he's 22, so not 25 yet, but we all know what that means once he does. It gets one of the arguably the most annoying level 25 abilities in the game, and 4-second doppelganger. We're enjoying the NoPango logo in the meantime.
Jerax is teleported into the base to get a ward down. Is in very deep.
I suppose Ghostic's been a distraction up here, but he is going to end up falling in without being able to TP out. 50 seconds he's dead for. And no buyback. Again, NoPango clearly in that state of where you just got to be crazy, try anything here to stall them. But crazy ain't going to be enough in the end, it seems like.
They need that Pango for the team fight. He's like the most important one. And they may catch the Coddle with this Rubik, but no, it looks like he gets out of there.
Tower going to fall. And just the Rax now saving them from the Mega Creeps at this point. Thompson wants to go for the tier 4. That's probably the wrong decision. He ends up going down for that. He buys back. Will-O-Wisp pulls an ICW. He's a bit tougher of a kill, though. And they've realizing that quickly. So, Battle of the Illusions. Going at it.
Yeah, a bit over-aggressive from Thompson, but I think all of OG know this game is won at this point, and that death, while avoidable, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I like to call the overtime Mega Creep spawn. Just a matter of time now before that GG is eventually called, but they're fighting Thompson. That would be a dieback. He is in a lot of trouble here. Spawns his Tempest double. The bubble goes down at the last second, and he's going to turn on a Terrorblade. Now Ghostic gets in, though, with them on the bubble, and he is able to take him out for the dieback. But Terrorblade's also dead with no buyback. Nature's Prophet, same story. And there we go. GDs are officially called. So, yeah, having some fun there in the end. But at that point, it really was looking like there was no way NoPango's coming back. So, a little bit tougher this time for OG, but ultimately still another decisive performance. They get invited straight to the quarterfinals like 3 other teams, and they took advantage for sure.
Oh, yeah. They had a very, very good showing here. OG, NoPango, top 4 finish, not too shabby. A lot of prize money in this tournament. They should be pretty happy with that. They got some valuable experience. Perhaps learned that Techies is not as good as they thought, or at least maybe learned about some of the heroes that can counter it. And we'll be seeing more of them at the major itself. So definitely a team to look out for in the future.
I know it's only 1 day so far, and again, you mentioned he played in the minor qualifiers with them, but especially now in a new patch and everything, I got to say, I am very impressed with LTW and how he's playing with this team and kind of the fit. So from my perspective at least, it seems like this could potentially be a good fit, and we'll see how, obviously, it continues to play out for them as we move on.
Definitely agree. He seems like the right kind of player, style of player. I think Pycat was just not quite greedy enough. Pycat's very talented, had a lot of success with Optic, but he was kind of that solid rock and was a bit more selfless with the team, whereas ILTW is happy to take all the farm in the world and, you know, play that late game solo carry 1v5 style, which is what OG want.
He likes to win, so does OG, and they're going to the finals. They're going to play best-of-5 finals tomorrow. Who their opponent's going to be, well, that's what we're going to find out next, as we got our second and final semifinals. NIP versus Gambit Esports will be the matchup. Gambit coming hot off their victory over Forward Gaming yesterday. Very impressive. They looked clean as well, but they are going to have to go through NIP now, who's obviously one of the more favorite teams going into this event in the first place. So